Happy Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. Time for some great listener questions. My buddy Pam Forrester joins me on today's show, and we get some questions about, well, we got a couple who's looking for a date night the night before embarkation on the Disney Treasure. They're going to be with a lot of friends and family on the cruise, but they are staying at the yacht club and looking for, a date night around yacht club. What could they do that night before? So we give some ideas there. We also have a listener asking about 6 adults traveling together on a cruise. How should they book their staterooms? 3 doubles, do a suite. We talk about the best way to think about that. We also talk about differences between Disney Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean. Lots of cruise questions on today's show. Also, we get a question about a big family going to travel together to Walt Disney World. And what if some of the family's not going to be there for the entire time? How do you do that with tickets in the Disney dining plan? This and much more coming your way on today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast is always brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney adventure for no additional cost to you. So check out all the details today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link as you do that online shopping this holiday season. Just click through and it supports us with every purchase. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us on the air, so a huge thank you to each and every one of you. You can support us as well, just $5 a month. And for that support, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. Come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2807 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from beourguestpodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you're having a great week here in December. Can you believe it? We are working our way up to the Christmas holiday, wrapping up 2025 already. Man, this year is flying by. We got a snowy season here in the Midwest. It's beautiful, actually. I'm kind of liking it because this time next week, I'll be in the Caribbean on a cruise ship, so it's all good. Pam, just back from, I won't be in the Caribbean. I'll be in the Bahamas. If I'm in the Caribbean, I got on the wrong boat. But either way,
they're the same area.
Exactly. I did. You know what? It's not the Midwest, and there won't be. No. I promise there won't be snow, so it's all good. It's all fine. Doesn't matter at that point once you're off the coast of Florida. So we're going to be having a good time answering your list of questions, and I just a duo here today. It's my good buddy, Pam Forrester, co-owner of the Magic for Less Travel. So glad she's back. We're going to have a great time hanging out today. Pam Forrester, what's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I know, it's just us. We're back. We're doing all the things, and we had a good Thanksgiving. Mike, did you have a good Thanksgiving?
Absolutely. This year, my birthday landed on Thanksgiving, so I got
your chocolate pie.
Oh my gosh! Again, shout out to my mother-in-law Elaine. She's a saint. She gets me the duo pies. I mean the twins, the twins, right? I mean, because we have the one that everybody, she puts it out there alongside the banana, because my father-in-law likes banana cream. I think is what I'm allergic to bananas, so I just stay away from that sucker. But he likes that. She takes care of everybody. Like my brother-in-law has his kind. He likes it. There's like 4 or 5 pies, and chocolate is one that everybody has a chance at. But then mine stays in the fridge. Like that one is off limits for everybody. And that one, what that one works as, that's my Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and it made it till like Sunday night, and then it was a goner because I eat too much, but it's so good. Yeah, she's an angel. I have a great mother-in-law, so thank you, Elaine.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. So how was your Thanksgiving? What'd you guys do?
Good. Yes. Did all the things we tried. So something different this year. Just put it out there. We like Costco always has these like smoked turkeys. So we got one of those, and then we got a regular turkey too. And people were a fan of the smoked turkey. And I imagine they sort of taste a lot like the turkey legs at Walt Disney World. A little hammy, a little smoky. But anyways, it was something different, and we had both kinds available. So, equal turkey opportunity. But like today's the day. FYI, we're recording this on a Monday. That like by now I'm like, yeah, I'm done with like everything that we had for Thanksgiving. I don't want to see it again.
Well, we are kind of in the danger zone today. You know, today's
Yes,
transitional.
right?
Like today, you can still eat leftovers, but you're pushing the envelope. You're taking a risk, but it is worth it. Like I did have I had a dressing ball this morning for breakfast. You know, with my breakfast burrito, but I knew it was kind of pushing the limits. But you know, it's stovetop, so in there in the mix. So I was like, it's probably got a shelf life of 7 years. It's probably okay. So it's worth it. Risk reward kind of thing. I'm not too scared of it. Now, one thing real quick before we leave the Thanksgiving holiday and move on to Christmas. One thing we didn't mention this whole Thanksgiving season was that the place up near you that I got to get to that has the Thanksgiving burrito. Is that place
Gobbleritos.
Gobbleritos. Is that place still
Mad
in
Max.
business?
If you're in the Pittsburgh area, they have the Gobblerito. It's famous. And so we did our own version of the Gobblerito with leftovers this year. So we tried it, and it seemed to work okay. I needed the bigger tortillas because so Mad Max, when they do a burrito, it sort of ends up being square because they do that fancy fold. You know what I mean? It's like origami. Like I'm always like, I don't even understand what's happening here. How did we get to this point?
Yeah, because if I tried, it's just all over my shirt. Like forget it.
Exactly. But they must use the really big tortillas to get it in that position. And I didn't have those because I honestly forgot to buy them until right before Thanksgiving. So anyways, they ended up sort of being more Gobblerita quesadillas, but it works. It works.
It's all good. It all goes down the same. And by the way,
exactly.
Shout out to our good friend Mohawk, who is watching us over in Scotland on the treadmill. So, I mean, we were just tearing him up right there, talking about Gobbleritos while he's putting in the miles. I mean, but I every morning I listen to podcasts on the treadmill as well, and it's always the same thing, talking about food. So it just, I think it burns twice the calories if you listen to, food talk. Well,
because it's
because it's more painful. I figure, more pain and just twice the calorie burn. So good job, Mohawk. You're killing it. All right, let's get into the questions. We have one here in the inbox that says, kicking off a cruise right. I like a question like that, I mean, who wants to kick off a cruise the wrong way? So here we go. Hey, Be Our Guest podcast crew. We're going on a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise on the Treasure in early December. My boyfriend and I, early 30s, are looking forward to lots of time with family and friends on the ship. But the night before embarkation, it'll just be the two of us. How would you choose to spend the evening before a cruise with your significant other? We're staying at the Yacht Club. Thanks to Mike for booking all of the above and to all of you for contributing to such a great podcast. Hannah L. in South Dakota. Okay, a couple things. First of all, thank you to Hannah for supporting our small business and the podcast. You guys are awesome, so thank you so much for that. And how awesome is it to get to go to the Eastern Caribbean and leave South Dakota in December?
That's right.
I was complaining about leaving Missouri, but oh my gosh, they picked the right time to leave South Dakota. I could imagine it's got to be 10 times worse than this. That's perfect.
Huge plus.
And staying at the Yacht Club. She nailed it though. Like there's a few places you got to stay before a cruise, like Caribbean Beach. Check. Thematic. Polynesian. Check. Yacht Club. It's nautical.
Yes, it's naughty.
Yes. So I did. What? Hannah's on the theme here. She's got it. She's figured it out already. I don't know if she did intentionally, but she did. No, what would you do though with your significant? Because they're going to be like a lot of family and friend stuff. But I mean, just the two of them, as Grover Washington said back in the day.
Yeah, right. I think I'd be looking at a good meal somewhere, just the two of them. And at the Yacht Club, you have a few great options from which to choose, right? I'd be looking at either Ale and Compass. If you want to spend a little bit more money, you have Yachtsman Steakhouse. If you want to go somewhere in between, you have the Cake Bake Shop that you can walk to over at the boardwalk. But I think I'd be sort of looking at either, just sort of a nice sort of quiet evening. I'd sort of look and see what kind of recreation the resort has. If they don't have anything in the evening, I may be looking at the boardwalk. They have that boardwalk entertainment. There's like juggling, magicians, all kinds of things. The cake bake shop, even if you aren't going to go there for dinner, I would consider going there for drinks because they have some fantastic drinks and it's such a beautiful bar. So that's something I may want to do. If you don't want to do that, Ale and Compass has a great lounge and Abracadabra is in there. So I'd sort of like mix and match my way sort of through that. Maybe spend some time just, doing a lounge, getting something to eat, just enjoying the ambiance. And, it's never bad to have a night swim.
Yes. I mean, yeah, because you got Storm Long Bay. I mean, that is the bomb.
Yeah, you got to use it.
And the hot tub there is awesome too. I mean, if it's cool,
Yes.
because the Treasure's going to have hot tubs, but the hot tubs are smaller on the cruise ships than obviously the pools at the at the hotels. So
the pool's a little smaller too.
Exactly. I mean, it's not bad, but yeah, Storm Long Bay, it's about the size of
small village.
Exactly, it's gigantic. So take advantage of it while you're there. But what and also kind of a hidden place that I kind of like if you're staying at Yacht Beach Boardwalk, Swan or Dolphin, Rosa Mexicana. I liked that place. It was, It was a different Mexican food experience. Like it was, I don't know, like it was unlike any other Mexican restaurant I've been to. It was super good, but different options. So if you want to try something like if you like Mexican food, but it's a little bit different, Rosa Mexicana it's either in the Swan or the Dolphin. I get them. I can't remember if I go left or right when I go in there.
They're basically the same. So
it's one of those. So you can go there, but I'm a big fan of like to go to dinner, do just like a couple's walk around the 3 resorts.
Yes.
A Crescent Lake walk, just to walk it off. Because like on a nice December night, if it's like a 70-degree night. Like I say, enjoy the boardwalk entertainment. Maybe there's a stilt walker. Maybe somebody's getting sawed in half. I don't know. Maybe somebody's doing something with hula hoops. Somebody's juggling fire. I don't know. Like you'll get to see that stuff in South Dakota. I will see it in Missouri. I mean, often.
Right.
I mean, every once in a while up by Target, like in the median, like somebody's begging for money. They might be juggling fire. Very rare, but it happens. No, it doesn't very happen, but that's a joke. It'd be cool if it did. So anyway, yes, have a great cruise. Can't wait to hear about it. Hopefully we can talk about it on the show. Have a good time, Hannah. All right, next question. Let's see here. Disney Cruise Line. Let's see here. It says, it's from Melissa. I'm looking to book my first Disney cruise for next summer. We're traveling with 6 adults. Do we need to get 3 staterooms? We don't mind sharing space, but don't want anyone to have to sleep somewhere uncomfortable. I know some cruise lines have bunk beds that come out of the ceiling and no one wants to sleep in that type of setting. Also, can you do connecting rooms? Thanks, Missy. So so we have 6 adults and they're talking about accommodations. So let's just talk about the accommodations in general, Pam. Let's kind of start there.
So there are, and when you have any more than 2 guests, you could be placed in any numerous kinds of bed configurations. There are ways that we sort of look and see, like when a bed sort of comes down from the ceiling, they usually refer to that as sort of a berth, and that's something that happens. It's crazy because on some cruise lines, when you're in an inside stateroom, you could be in an inside stateroom and have 2 berths that come down from the ceiling. Disney Cruise Line does not do that, but that is a possibility.
I love watching Love Boat when like people like walk into their stateroom and they meet their cabin mate. Like that'd be baller. Like, hey, I'm sharing this stateroom with you. Like that's that's so funny. That'd be a guarantee rate for sure. They guaranteed restricted.
Guaranteed wild, especially on the Love Boat. So the thing is, Disney Cruise Line does have berths that come down. They also have a sort of couch that sort of converts into a bed as well. And I understand, like, you don't really, care about sharing, spaces. But the issue is that if you're going to have more than 3 people in a stateroom, then you're almost always going to have a berth that someone's going to be sleeping in, unless you look at maybe a family stateroom where you can sometimes have a pull down bed. But again, then that would be 4 people in one and, and then you'd have the 2 people in the other one. And then the issue for me, more than where I'm sleeping, is going to be the bathroom.
That's what I was going to say. I mean,
bingo.
yes. Because I mean, it becomes like, even with my situation with 4 adults and 3, three adult women, right? It's
Right.
just, I end up going up to the rainforest room to take my shower because I'm never getting in. Like,
Right. You're
I'm
not
never
gonna have
getting
a
in.
chance.
Like, that's it.
Yeah, I know. So I think that's usually the bigger thing for most people. And while Disney is good about having split bathrooms, which I think does happen, does help the situation, right? I think in the end, they're still small. I mean, we're on a cruise ship. These are small bathrooms. You're in small quarters. And I think everyone would just be more comfortable if they did have their own space. Look and see how much difference there is, and if there is sort of a stateroom configuration that will work so that each of you has your own space for sure. And there just aren't. People sometimes will come to us with a larger party and say, well, how about a suite? And it's like, yeah, they really aren't set up, first of all, to save money. Because if you're in one of the big suites, it's going to cost you way more than 3 individual staterooms. So that's something, to do that. And you absolutely can do connecting staterooms. They have staterooms that connect. You may not get all 3, but as long as you're near each other, I think you'll be more than fine. What do you think?
Yeah. Somebody, I look at it as an advisor. I would do the 3 pairs. I would do 3 staterooms connected, and you'll probably get 2 of the 3 connecting, 1 adjacent, and you'll be fine. And pick the 2 that are probably maybe have the kids together. Well, there's 6 adults. It doesn't matter who it is. Just, you can have the door open between the 2 and kind of, jump in between. Like we've done that with Scott's family. We've had connecting staterooms, just leave the door open in the middle. This is when Mallory and Emily were younger. They would just jump between the 2 staterooms because it was basically like a slumber party for a week, right? One night they would sleep in our stateroom, one night they'd sleep in their stateroom, and it was fun for them. But yeah, the bathroom situation is kind of the way to go. I think just with 6 adults, it's easier to have 3 staterooms, 3 bathrooms, and people aren't on top of each other. That way you can kind of retreat back to your own space. But, I do have guests who book 5 adults into 1 stateroom and they have fine. Because the thing is, sometimes it's a shorter cruise and you're going to go and not be in your stateroom a whole lot. You're going to maybe be more port intensive and be doing a lot of stuff and not be in your stateroom a whole lot. It just depends what your goals are for the cruise. But for me, I would probably do the 3 doubles. That's what I would go with.
That's where I'm at too.
All right, let's see here. We got another question here from, I was just emailing with this guest over at the Magic for Less. She was talking about her cruise. She was actually talking about this trip. Cindy, I believe she's down in Tennessee. Hello, everyone. I'm headed down to Walt Disney World January 8th to the 13th to run the half marathon during 2026 marathon weekend. I haven't been to the Magic Kingdom since the Starlight Parade started. When I looked at the park calendar, the parade is not listed after December 31st. There also wasn't anything listed on the Starlight Parade page about a refurbishment. Do you know why it wouldn't be listed? Thanks for helping me book all my trips. Cindy down in Franklin, Tennessee. I guessed it correctly. She's right outside of Nashville. Actually, I saw her at the airport one time. We were both flying home together. This came in a week ago. It was just that stuff. I'm sure it's going to be going on in January, right?
I would think we haven't gotten any indication that it's not. And typically what happens is they just don't have the schedule that far out yet. And that could be for a number of different reasons. Sometimes they sort of look to see how many reservations that they have, right? So they can determine, the operating hours of the parks then, and then that sort of dictates the time of that. Sometimes they're looking to put other things into place to see when that's going to happen, but I wouldn't worry about it. We haven't heard anything yet, and I can't imagine that it's not going to be happening.
Yeah, I mean, I'd imagine it'll be happening during marathon weekend because there's no reason it wouldn't. Yeah,
right. We haven't gotten any indicator that it's not going to watch. Then
I doubt it's been canceled, but yeah.
Yeah.
If you're an SEC football fan, which you don't know about all the drama that's happened the past 72 hours with the football. But if you know, you know, it's crazy with this football coach at Ole Miss and LSU. Oh my gosh, it's the greatest soap opera ever. It's glad it's not my football coach because I'd be losing my stuff. Anyway, okay, back to this. Jennifer's got a question. Says urgent, not. You're in. See, you're playing the game. Here we go. Hey, Mike, Scott, Pam, and or Ricky. And she left the T off Scott. Makes him sound like he's Scottish or something. Looking way ahead to booking a family trip. Our daughter plans on taking a week and pulling her son out of school to go during a less crowded time. We usually book a 2-bedroom villa and go down with them. Our son is also planning to go so we can all be there together. However, he's a high school teacher and can't take off during the school year. He's thinking of bringing his family down for a long weekend while we're there. Our questions are: 1, if Lisa's family is on our villa park ticket reservation, can they get the dining package without Len or I being on it? Same thing for multi-pass tickets. Okay, let's stop there. She has 2 questions. So Pam, so if her family is on their villa park ticket reservation, can they get the dining package without Len and I being on it? Same for the park multi-pass tickets. So the way I'm reading it is, okay, so if it's a package, this is just how it works. Everybody on the package must have the same package components, which are tickets and dining.
Yes. Right. Everyone must have the same tickets, including length of tickets. And if one person gets a dining plan, everyone must have the dining plan.
Yep. That's how
packages work. The other way to do it would be... You can't do it. I mean, even if you went to a room only reservation, the issue is going to be you have to have it for your length of stay. So that's going to be the kicker for all of that in terms of the dining plan.
Yeah, you can't do the dining. Yeah,
right. You can't have it for just a partial part of it. So they may be better off just being at a different resort or a different room, but getting the dining plan for just their length of stay and not your entire length of stay.
And second question is, Matthew's family will have to book their resort and park tickets separately for their weekend trip. When we make ADRs, can we book for all 9 of us at our 60-day point, even though Matthew will be on a different reservation and arriving later? If not, can he book at his 60-day point and ask to be seated with us? Thanks, Jen in Maryland. Another couple of my great guests at the Magic for Less, by the way. So Pam, talk about those ADRs. Can she go ahead and book all 9 of them at 60, or?
You absolutely can. You're allowed to make advanced dining reservations for the number of party that you choose. The only thing is, I always advise guests, if they're doing even, a party of 6 or more, sometimes you're going to find more availability if you split into 2 parties. And then you can ask when you get to the restaurant if they can sit you at the same table or close together. The challenge with that is that even if you were booked as one party, sometimes they split you up too. Like if you have a larger party and you booked it for 8, you may arrive at the restaurant and they may tell you that you're sitting in 2 parties of 4. It's a weird thing, Before, I think that Disney, this was years and years ago, Disney was much more, they made it easier for larger parties, don't you think? Like, it just seems like in the past, 5 years or so, it has become a little challenging in making reservations for a larger party. Most of the time when you get to the restaurant, it works out well, but every now and then it just becomes like a little bit of a challenge. So just check and see if, you see different availability if you split into 2 parties and go from there.
I think what I see with that is, and again, I think this is just how it is with any industry and really any kind of, or especially service industries, right? It's the experience of the person who's working in the role. Is if you get an experienced person at the podium, an experienced person who's in charge of seating, they're going to try to find a solution to trying to get 17 people, maybe not at the same table, but at 2 tables adjacent to each other. Where if you get a rookie there that's maybe in that position that's been there a week or so, and it's busy, and people, it just feels like there's like an inertia in that restaurant at the time, and things are getting away from that cast member. I get it, like you're thrown into that position, and it's stressful, and experience is the best teacher. So a lot of times I get it, like you could end up maybe far apart in two different tables, but you just got to kind of cross your fingers and hope you get somebody with experience that is a problem solver, that's been there, done that. And that's what I see a lot of times, that that's exactly what we see every day as like travel agents, right? You call in and you hear a friendly voice that and you're like, oh, thank God, because this is going to be a complex problem to solve. Like when you got you got a lot of variables with this booking, and you get somebody that you're like,
yeah,
thank you, because sometimes you get somebody you've never heard before, and you're like, they probably know their stuff, but experience is the best teacher with everything, and it's just the way it is, I think, and you just got to have patience.
It is. And what's so funny is I have a friend whose daughter works for Disney, and she was talking with her recently and actually said, do you think that Pam would let the me come and talk to the agents, because I work at a restaurant and we have so many people coming up that says my travel agent told me to ask if we could be seated together when we get to the restaurant. And she's like, and sometimes we don't have control over that. And I thought, well, this is Disney's solution to this. So we can't do anything about that. Like, even when sometimes we're calling to make dining reservations for a guest, because, like, let's say it's a larger party or a more complicated situation or whatnot, this is Disney's solution. It's not like we're sitting here and our office is making this up. It is a Disney solution. And it's just sort of a challenging process at different times. So anyway.
With Disney, I'll be honest, we do the best we can for our guests, but a lot of times we're just doing the same thing. We're just crossing our fingers and praying for, just like you. Yes. I mean, we sweet talk the cast members on our end just as much. We tell Frankie, this is a great guest. They're celebrating. They're celebrating. This is such a special trip. I do this all the time, man. I put more butter on my reservations than Butterball. I'm like the eternal person on Thanksgiving morning, buttering that bird. I butter my reservations so much. Everybody should be getting, like room upgrades. I swear. And I'm just like, this is a really special trip. They're like, Mike, really? Everybody's going? Yes. I mean, you're going to Walt Disney World. It's a special trip for real.
For real.
I mean, come on. What you're going to Disney. What do you want? Oh, speaking of Mohawk, he has a listener question. All right, we got one. Here we go. It's Graham. He also goes by Mohawk, by the way. He says, I hope you and the BOGP crew are well. My question for you and Pam is simple. Oh, he called you out.
I'm here. Available for question answering today.
Yeah. He says, how would you recommend we afford a trip to Walt Disney World every year from the UK? Can you suggest any legitimate strategies such as saving plans, travel hacking, and other financial trips? Let's see. Thanks for your input. Best regards, Graham, who goes by Mohawk. So and I know we talk about this actually in the clubhouse a lot. Cody has like those credit card hacking tips, with like signing up for a card, getting all the bonus points, using it for a little bit, getting a new card, and getting all the travel. I try to follow it. It's too confusing for me. I would end up with all kinds of fees and stuff because I'm not great at keeping track of all that.
Credit cards.
Exactly. It just makes me way too nervous. But if you're if you're like that type of person that can stay on top of it, I can see where you could probably fly for free forever. If you are that type of person, I'm not, so I don't get into it. That's why I don't gamble or anything like that. I just know my limits. I don't touch it. But like, what are some good strategies? I mean, I get my biggest thing is just budget, and I'm just very aware of. I don't do certain things so that I can go to Disney. I try to just be disciplined and not spend on some things so I can kind of put it towards my trips.
Yeah, I agree. I think, one of the things we use, especially being here in Pennsylvania, is, and I know this is something that happens not just here, but probably in other parts of the world, is when we buy gift cards at our local grocery store, we actually get points that can be used toward the cost of our gas. And it sort of ends up to the point where we don't really pay for gas. And you may have that in the UK, you may not, but even if you don't, I wonder if like the Target or whether you have like a Costco or Sam's Club where you can get Disney gift cards at a lesser rate there. I know in the US when you have the Target card, of course, you can always get Disney gift cards at a lower rate. So that's something to think of. I think the other thing too is, and it's funny because we were just talking with Hannah about this because she just bought a house and she wants to, build a deck on this house. And so at one point after she had moved this summer into it. So at some point, I'm like, Han, you have to start thinking about this deck. You know what I mean? You have to start thinking about this because every time we'd go over there to help her with something, there were like 35 Amazon purchases. And we all know when we move into a house, we want everything to be perfect, right?
Yeah.
So at some point, we're like, okay, have you talked to someone about how much the deck is going to cost? No, I haven't. Have you talked about what you want to have? Oh, I know I want to have a roof on this deck. I'm like, okay, good.
Lord.
So she has the deck people come over, right?
She doesn't want a deck. She wants like a house extension.
Right? So the deck is a certain price. And for double that price, she can get a roof on it. And she's like, Mom, it's like double the price. I'm like, yes. The lumber, the shingles, the electricity.
It's called the Four Seasons room at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I'm like, she's like, okay, well, I don't think I need the roof anymore. Yes, you're right. You probably don't. But how much is that? And when do you want to build it? Like, when do you want them to start building? Okay, divide by the number of paychecks you're going to get between now and then. And of course, it's such a simple strategy, but I think doing it when you have a goal, there's something psychological about that. Even if you're like, yeah, I know, I'm saving for my vacation. When you know what you're saving for and your pen to paper or Excel sheet, mouse to Excel sheet, whatever you're doing to do it, I think that there's a real psychological thing that helps you save for that. And I know if you're anything like my family, there's a lot of stuff I'm willing to give up at home to make sure that I get to take the vacations that I want to take. So hopefully that helps a little bit, and I think the other thing is too, some of your biggest expenditures, of course, are going to be your hotel and your tickets and your dining. So when you consider some of that, I think you want to compare different things. And I'm not always a fan of saying the cheapest is the best. I think you need to look at where you're going to get the best value for you and your family, because that's different for each family. So consider all those things.
I agree. Well said. And I will say over in the clubhouse that, because I've seen Graham talk about how he goes about it, because the airfare is expensive to get over from the UK to the States and so forth. But what I've noticed, because he gets into it with Cody and a couple of others because we have that Travel Hacks channel in the Discord, and they almost gamify it because he's always on top of it and trying to use his travel miles to maybe get a business class or, better usage of those points at a better time to maximize the points and so forth, get switches flights. And I think a lot of times if you gamify it, like you say, like, I'm going to really squeeze this budget and see how much value I can get out of, my travel miles or my hotel points, or, if you're going to, I'm talking general travel.
Right.
I think when you try to gamify something to really see what you can do with it, that kind of makes it more fun rather than just like, oh, I have a budget, try to really challenge yourself. I'm going to stay on budget, make it a challenge.
Right. Kind of fun. Agreed.
All right. Last question of the day. Paul's got it. The good friend Paul out in New Jersey. Well, he says it's urgent, so here we go. Well, urgent for those contemplating booking a cruise for this time of year. I've never done a Disney cruise, but I've done Royal. Please, what's 3 areas where Disney is better than Royal? Also, for a first-time Disney cruiser, how many days and what ship would you recommend going on first? Thanks so much for everything. Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year to all. Paul from New Jersey. So I've been on Royal and I've been on Disney, and here's the thing, I have nothing like bad to say about Royal Caribbean either, because I'm a Disney cruise line guy. Obviously I enjoy it. That's what I sell. That's what I cruise most of the time. And I've been on Royal and I've had a good time on Royal too. I think the cruise lines especially just kind of have something for everybody. It's just there's different things, and Royal is going to be at least a less expensive option. A lot of times with Disney cruise lines can go different places. They definitely have a bigger library of ships, bigger ships. Those ships are, I mean, you've been on them, Pam. You could talk about those well more than I could. Back in the day, I was on the biggest one, and it's not even that big anymore. But what would you go and say? I mean, I would, obviously the Disney difference is on the Disney Cruise Line. I mean, you got the Disney entertainment, the Disney IP is a selling point for Disney Cruise Line. What would you go with?
I think that a Disney cruise feel is a more luxury cruise experience. When you are sailing a Disney Cruise Line, there is something about it that really feels very luxurious. And I don't mean that in a you're paying for a luxury vacation kind of way. I think what it is it is those little attention to details that I think really work for people. If you're sailing from some of their home terminals, like at Port Canaveral or at Fort Lauderdale, I think that sort of vacation experience starts sort of the moment you step into that terminal, right? With the details, the customer service experience, whatnot. But I also think it happens again when you step onto the ship and you sort of see that grand atrium. Like, that's a wow moment. And it feels very luxurious. And I don't mean in a way that's like uncomfortable or stuffy or whatnot. You just feel as if you're being taken care of. And again, you're going to have another moment when you step into your stateroom. Those, Mike, you can attest to this, the sheets and the bed on a Disney Cruise Line.
So good. I'm so looking forward to some good sleep. I mean, I hate to say it, like, what are you looking forward to on your cruise?
Right?
A good sleep. Oh,
good sleep, but you do. Disney gets fret sheets and fret towels, and if you don't know that brand,
I have no idea what that means, but bring it on. Yeah, exactly.
Look it up and you'll see about what Disney's paying for your sheets and towels. It feels really good to be on that ship. And I think there's just something about the rooms. There is an attention to detail. There is a thoughtfulness in the way that things are laid out. It is just that kind of experience that you just walk away from that feeling like, dang, that was like money well spent on that. I didn't really sort of have a care in the world. I ate well, I slept well, I bathed well, I toweled off well. I saw fantastic shows that are done in a way that only Disney can do, I think, that really have that appeal. You see the Disney characters around almost every corner. There is something about a Disney cruise. And then when you get to experience the private islands, they are not going to be similar to a Coco Cay experience. And Royal Caribbean has a fantastic private island. It's filled with so many things to do. But dang, once again, there is something about those Disney Cruise Line private islands that I think is worth experiencing. It has sort of a way of taking sort of a natural experience and melding it with a really sort of Disney and curated experience that I think is worth it. I don't know what's your favorite thing about a Disney cruise, Mike, that you feel like you can't get on other cruise lines?
Well, you kind of nailed it. I mean, it's the islands, both Lookout and Castaway, amazing because they're just right. They're not overrun with people. They're just the right amount of people, even if you're on the larger ships. And you try to describe the luxurious feel of a Disney cruise line. It's almost like opulent. It's timeless. The ships do feel classic, even especially like the Magic, and well, they all do though. They have this, they're kind of nostalgic but they have all the modern conveniences on the ships too at the same time. With funnel vision, you can watch a movie at 11 o'clock at night on the top deck, the latest movie up there while the wind's blowing through your hair as you're out at sea, which is so cool, and you can walk 100 yards and 100 feet and get an ice cream cone or a slab of, piece of pizza. It's just, it's the coolest thing. But you can go to the Walt Disney Theater and see an amazing live theatrical production at sea with great performers, and the adult entertainment is amazing, which, I mean, all these other cruise lines have stuff like that too, but if you're a Disney fan, you get the familiar stories that which I think is pretty cool. And to me, it's comfortable. The way I describe it to my guests that are Disney fans that have gone to the world many times, but have never been on a Disney cruise, I kind of explain it like this. It's almost like staying at a deluxe hotel, having signature dining every night, and going and seeing, shows every night if you want to. And every day you wake up at a different destination to go out and have a good time. And if you're not at a destination that day, you're at sea, and you can have all these small little adventures on the ship, whether it's to watch a diaper dash or to go to the spa for the day, or to just hang out at the pool, or, play trivia and hopefully win, or to make, bake a potato into a race car with your family, goofy stuff like that. But the whole time you're making memories and you're having a great time, stuff you can't do on land. It's such a variety pack all in one thing. It's so much fun.
It is. And the cast, we can't say enough good things about the cast members that you get to interact with. They really do become sort of part of your, more than just part of your cruise.
You want to bring them home.
Yes,
please.
Exactly. Right. You do. And if you're used to sailing on some of the bigger royal ships, then I would definitely look at the Triton class. When considering that, I think that it will just offer a little more for you to experience in that, for sure.
All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. We thank you for the great questions. Please send those in for next week's show. Send those to Mike at beourguestpodcast.com. Just put listener question in the header there. You can put your level of urgency, and we'll play that game as long as you guys want to play it. So let's keep it going. Again, Mike at beourguestpodcast.com for any questions you have, and you'll be featured here on the show. Friday, we're going to talk about Pam's recent trip. We talked about the Destiny cruise last Friday. This time, we're going to talk about all her fun at Walt Disney World. She got to do all the holiday happenings. So if you're headed down there this holiday season, get ready for that. Now, don't forget, we're helping our guests, and that includes you. You're a guest. You're listening to the show today. Come on over. We're going to help you over at the Magic for Less. Get to your favorite Disney destination, whether that is Walt Disney World, headed out to the West Coast to Disneyland, where they're celebrating 70 magical years out there, or sailing with the Disney Cruise Line. Got lots of ships and lots of fun to have out there. We're going to help you have a great time on that trip. And the best part, no additional cost to you. It's like Cyber Monday. It's like Black Friday. It's all those things 365 days a year. It's the best deal ever. I mean, you can't beat it. So come on over, check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. That helps us out every day of the year. Thank you for that. And you can support us on Patreon, patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. $5 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, especially the cup of coffee that my daughter gets. It's ridiculous. For that, you support the show. You keep us on the air. We appreciate that so much. When you do that, you get a bonus show called Mike in the Midwest. So come over this week. We'd sure love to have you. Patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Thanks to everybody who does that already. You guys are awesome. You can follow us on the social media at beourguestmike. I'm on Instagram, x.com, and Threads. Pam's at TMFLTPam. And don't forget, join us in the Clubhouse. That's our Discord server. It's our live message boards and live chat. It's so much fun. We all hang out there. Come on over. Your invitation's waiting at beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. No live show this Sunday night because I will be on the Disney Destiny, but we'll have one the next week. So don't fret. We'll have a good time with that. So come on back on Friday. We're going to have a great show for you. Pam and I'll be here. We'll be waiting for you. So until then, for Pam, I'm Mike. Saying have a great Wednesday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.